Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to your timeless to love variant reading. Please bear in mind a few things before we get started. These messages may hit home if Aquarius is found in your sun, rising, and or Jupiter position. However, if you're here for, let's say, your moon placement being in a sign of Aquarius, you may be looking for emotional redemption, and this reading may not offer you what it is that you're in search of. So feel free to see whether or not that interests you and checking out my sister page. The link can be found in the description box below. Content there or content to come may assist you. With that being said, if you'd like any of my tarot services, a tarot reading, or a remote healing session, I am a master healer. Time and place has no constraint in offering you relief. All right, so bear that in mind. Any description, any information on how to do anything is available in the description box below. With all other readings, not only are they timeless, but past, present, and or future energetical timelines could come forth within a reading. So use your discernment to take all of that which belongs to you and to naturally leave the rest behind. To remember that past, present, and future energies, as I'm repeating myself, are convoluted and feminine and masculine energies here. And that are non-gender specifics. I feel like a lot of the energies want to repeat themselves in this reading, so let's be mindful of that as we decipher what the hell is going on here. There's a lot of crisscrossing happening here, a lot of confusion, a lot of second guessing, a lot of like, you light seed people are trying to figure out what is what and what home is up to. What home is up to. And honestly, that is not for debate at this time because there are too many controversial topics at hand. For this specific niche of tapping into this energy, it won't be discussed because, like I said, the narrative is too overwhelming, and I think it will again almost like be a bluff to what is actually that needs to be talked about here, Aquarius. I think you want to run a dialogue of some kind, you want to run the show of some kind, which is not a bad thing here. I feel like some of you were also kind of catapulted into this position, so maybe this is also your career goal having to do with this and needing to remain in control because your job title doesn't allow you to have a second of non-control, right? Or any kind of uncontrolled moment is not necessarily looked upon as a good attribute as to what it is that you might be doing career-wise. So the various ways in how this affects you or how the love variant can take this reading is up to the reading itself. It can be singlehood, it could be divorce, marriage, and whatever platonic relationships or romantic relationships you may or may not have. But I do see that someone here is expressing interest and wanting to explore with themselves outside of the partnership, but wanting to see how they could engage that conversation with their partner to see how they can step outside of the relationship and of any kind here. This is literally of any kind. This could be having to take on a job or wanting to take on a travel job of some kind that will take your attention away from the partnership, or if it's literally wanting to intertwine an actual other person into a one-on-one relationship. The Aquarians have a bit of a tougher time of understanding loyalty attached to the frequency of a rainbow body that Aquarians feel vibrating through themselves. The more that you become of light body essence, the more you become non-binary to being one specific color. You are all of the colors in any color that you claim your identity towards. So the conversation is not only more available out there, but there are laws now being created around having that type of vulnerability, and it's a bit contradictory, a bit like it cancels it out, right? So again, it's almost like taking a narrative of fighting for something for so long, and now that it became a narrative, we almost have to learn to let it go, that it's now part of quote unquote the narrative, which means the narrative cannot be trusted. The narrative is just now a trophy of something that human consciousness has succeeded for themselves, and now let's go on and create another game, another version of this chess game, so that we can understand who's really at power, who's really not also at fault, and overall having to understand this worldly chaos has to come down to really minding our own business. And in minding your own business, you realize how drunk in the ether of not knowing and knowing you become, and becomes overwhelming trying to get a sense of security once you've already realized you're so intoxicated. All right, and light vibration will do that. It can really drain a reader to read some energies. Their body could react that way. You can hear it in the slurring of my words sometimes, but those are also whatever. Those are all energies being aware that if I were to focus on them, I can immediately claim them to be gone, but I'm just allowing them to just hold their presence for a moment because they want to do whatever they want to do. And that's kind of what is going into being your responsibility here, of understanding why you feel as much as you do, Aquarius, and having a better relationship with your guides and whatever they may mean for you, and really showing up to the drawing table of the canvas of life, and not being afraid to take your brush here of your wand of magic and really going to the palette of your choosing and do something. A lot of rambling here, a lot of rambling. 1 second, wrong deck. Let's see what we have here. We have the Smith, overthinking, taking action. Yeah, I mean, that overthinking is difficult, right? The slurring of the words, the having to just understand all this thing, and it can make the physical body just want to tap the fuck out. No, I'm out. But the adventurer here, the responsibility and expectation, this is also the energy of never standing still, because never standing still means you don't get to learn of the changes of yourself and other people and other worldly aspects here. And then we have the merchant, self-worth and trade. A lot of Libra energy coming forth here, very obvious here with the scales. I'm also getting Capricorn energy with the work energy here with the Smiths. Virgo energy is coming through too with overthinking. All right, and overall just being a bit overwhelmed with maybe certain astrological verbiage of what it means to delve into the esoterical topic for yourself. So just bear that in mind. Understanding that no new material is needed to understand who you are. You have a sense of self-worth that will help assist the curiosities of your own makeup, and then bring you towards the adventure to satisfy the longing of wanting to experience your thoughts. There's someone testing you in the ways of wanting to literally bring more adventure and creativity in your life. I did say canvas in one of the first cards that come up with the Smith card, which means you're forging something. You have to go back into forging something. Sorry, I'm stuffing my mouth again. Some of you are doing a job thinking and utilizing your mind, Aquarius, and that's not your power source. Your power source is your creativity, your solar plexus, your sacral juices. Making sense, helping make sense of the chaos of the mind, triggering through what your gut wants to paint, which is literally on some people's canvas. I'm literally seeing some of y'all need to start painting and You're not doing it for yourself. You are doing it for yourself in a way of getting rid of the energy because you're putting something into creativity. But what you're doing is actual humanitarian work, which you fucking love to do anyway, Aquarium. But you're not realizing you have to do it differently. You're triggering people and thinking that you understand the mind space. For that, you're around too much Virgo energy and realize that you don't really know much about the mind. So for that, some of you are needing to trigger yourselves into remembering what your heart space was all about from a long time ago and what it meant for you to reach that point in life, that sense of understanding, and now allowing yourself to witness why you're continuously shoving that underneath the rug and finding no sense of stability for yourself. You have everything going for yourself in a way. You're like, I see a lot of people here having a sense of security of having a home, having a good job, having health insurance. You know, you go to the doctor and you meet the status quo. You probably also have a 401k. You know, you have your shit going on, right? But there's also a reason why you're here, whether it's in fear or in curiosity. There's a bigger reason behind those two. And it's worth exploring because just like Taurus energy, you already have been exposed with the ether for how much you've poisoned an apple of opportunity in the past. Look at that with the Five of Swords energy, all right? Feeling as if the situation that you're in right now can't really go anywhere because it's not going anywhere, all right? It's not meant to go anywhere. I'm not necessarily speaking of an actual person. It was more of like a situation, a topic in hand that involves many people, perhaps. Maybe also your employees if you're the boss, all right? And seeing how the employees are affecting your overall business and having to reassess what you have to do in how to conquer that. Let's not forget, right? This is the love variant reason. So why would that even show up? Why is work so heavy? Well, probably because most of your time spent getting some quality of livelihood for your life is either spent at work. And if that part of time and trajectory is not spent with a level of energy of pure love, then you will have not understood the message as to why work is important, or why having longevity in a workspace is good. It's more of knowing that the sense of exhaustion that shows up. Excuse me. Whoa, this thigh is coming completely out of me. Point is, needing to rehash that of which it is you want to find abundance in, because the sense of responsibility that you have, you enjoy, all right? You like taking yourself seriously. You like when others respect the decisions that you've made because it feeds a sense of confidence within you, right? But there is this flip side to that coin. Somewhere in your life you also don't feel confident, and the ether is trying to challenge you specifically on that topic as to why that's there. Four of Wands lets me know that you want what is yours. You don't want to let go of the things that are yours. You don't want things to leave you once you see or have spent time with one another. You want to communicate a sense of purpose and a unity with someone here, all right? And that is very important to you. Yeah, and you're on your way. That is very important to you. It is very important for you to emotionally satisfy all parties involved here. And I think you're going to do it. How successful you feel about it, I can't guarantee that you'll feel very successful. But however, even a fucking tomato vine can like fly out of and grow out of the cement sidewalk. All right, so there is no stopping as to making sense of everything that you want. You just have to make sure that whoever is involved with what it is you seek understands the terms and conditions, right? Because if you don't understand the terms and conditions, then someone's going to feel that their ego has been bruised. And then where you think you've done a divine act, it has only been nothing but karmic because of the choices. Because choices brought you there. Because one way to understand the Four of Wands is to understand why your ego wants it so much. What does your ego want it so much? And when instead of just focusing on just being and shaping the judgments of your ego. Yeah. Yeah, look at that Two of Cups card here, right? Beautiful. I mean, to get reunited with who you are is to have a better understanding with your ego, allowing yourself to have control over the ego, showing up to all the things that the ego wants to tell you about his or herself, and them allowing themselves to represent a version of, let's call it a healed aspect of who you are. Needing that is very important for Aquarius at this time. There's a lot of there's just a lot coming through. All right, so why are we here, Aquarius? Why are we here? Because some of you have seen Atlantis, and Atlantis is such a beautiful place that the love of returning to that is just absolutely gorgeous, right? The love for returning to that, Six of Cups, 369 here, with the Nine of Cups energy following pursuit, is a beautiful story to hold on to, right? Even if we can retrace that energy in memory, in conscious memory, and then wake up and realize it's not right in front of us, we just retraced it back in memory, so it's everywhere to be found with the Six of Pentacles. Look at that. It's everywhere to be found with the balance now coming through. Feeling the working class. I'm feeling like a working class citizen with the Chariot. Knowing the risk factor of things is the only thing that you have as a human being to dictate your involvement to situations. I don't even know if that makes sense. I'm spacing out. The need to be emotionally fulfilled is high at this time, but it will only come after you've made a sacrifice of knowing or not knowing of loss. All right, ladies, I gotta leave it here. Actually, you know what? I gotta get you this. You are your own desire or need, and it settles when the dust settles. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and all those in between and beyond. Whoops. I ask that you consider subscribing to both of my channels if you haven't done so already. And I'm wishing you a wonderful morning, noon, or night, wherever you are in the ether of this time and space. May you keep flowing, growing, and glowing. Take care.